I'm so tired of seeing coaches, consultants, and agency owners struggle to grow their income and them oscillating between 5 and 10K a month instead of growing consistently to 10, 30, or even 50K a month by just being themselves, by having fun in their business. If this is also you, we need to have this conversation. And this is actually a conversation that I've had with one of my clients this week, talking about inconsistent income. And there's literally two reasons why this is happening right now. Number one is fear, and number two, you haven't made some very, very important decisions about yourself and about your business. But you're gonna get a lot more clarity in this video to why this is happening, what you can do differently so that you show up in your power, you show up with confidence. And when you show up with confidence, your income doesn't have a choice. It will have to grow. So if you're excited about diving deep into this topic, just know that I'm just as excited as you are right now to talk about this, because this is a big, big, big problem in the coaching industry, coaching and consulting industry in general. So, fear. What does this mean? Whenever you want something and you're actively working towards getting the thing, but you're not making that much progress towards the thing, it literally means that subconsciously you're more afraid of having the thing than not having the thing. It might not surprise you, but the majority of people are more afraid of succeeding than they are of failing, because the fear of uncertainty, the fear of the unknown is very, very real. And for most people, success is something totally new, totally, something that they've never experienced. And it's normal to fear it, because you're thinking, what if I get it and then I lose it? What if I get it and then there's too much responsibility with it? What if more people send me hate comments? Which all of it can happen at the end of the day, but it comes down to you knowing that if it does happen, you have what it takes to adjust, to make changes, and then go on to the next level. So, how do you actually overcome this fear? Well, clarity is power. So, something that I love to do when I find myself in this situation where I want something, but really deep down, I'm more afraid of having the thing than not having the thing. I love to write down the question, what am I afraid will happen if my goal, insert goal, becomes a reality? And then I check my intuition. I allow my intuition to tell me specifically which are the fears. And I like to list them. And sometimes I give them a number to see which one is the most intense, which one is the real fear. And right after that, I write down the truth. And really, the truth, most of the time, is the opposite of the fear. For example, when I was scared to have higher level clients, I was afraid that they would say, you know what, you're not, why am I listening to you? I'm more successful than you. What am I doing here? And I wrote down the fear. And the truth was that, yes, they might be a master in business, but I am a master in mindset. I am a master in leadership. I am a master in understanding how your subconscious, how your emotions shape your reality. And that's something that they don't have yet. So it's really two masters combining forces to create something exceptional. And I did this exercise as many times as I needed until I overcame that fear. So fear is the number one thing stopping you from consistently growing your income, because it has nothing to do with strategy. And you know this. If you're making 5K, let's say right now, your strategies are working. You can easily use the same strategies with a few tweaks, let's say doing more of what works and making a few slight adjustments to grow your income exponentially. There's nothing else stopping you aside from fears and aside from the decisions that we're going to discuss right now, because they're important. So If it's not the strategy, then what is it? Right? If, let's say, you've figured out the fears and you're having clarity in that sense of what you're really afraid of, why is it that you still find it hard to grow? It has to do with two decisions. Number one, if you're doing what you're doing for a specific result, aka growing your income, I know, sounds counterintuitive, but hear me out. If you're doing what you're doing for a specific result, getting, the 30K a month goal, 50K a month goal, whatever that may be, when you get the result, guess what? You're going to stop doing the thing that got you there because you got the result. So it's going to be very, very difficult to motivate yourself to move to the next level. Your 5K a month or 10K a month was the result that you were aiming for. Now it's very hard for you to move to the next level because that was the thing that you were after. So once you get the reward, it's very difficult for you to find the power, the energy, the drive, the motivation to go to the next level. And on the flip side, when you don't get the result, when you think, oh, I really like this client, it would be so awesome if this client or this prospect would become my client, and then they don't. You get demotivated again. You stop doing the thing that's working, that's getting you results, and you go straight into a slump. It becomes very, very hard to get out of it. Instead, the number one decision that needs to be made is making the work the reward. I'm going to say this again. Making the work the reward. If you love what you're doing so much that it doesn't matter how much money you make, you're still going to do it. For example, if this coaching thing fails and I need to get a job, I'm still going to do this on the side because I love this so much. This is the highest expression of who I am. Nothing's gonna stop me. That's how much I love this. This is what I'm saying. I love making these videos. I love diving deep and getting people to transform in very powerful ways. This is what I live for. So make the work the reward. And if you feel like your work is not very rewarding, then think to yourself, what can I change in my day? What can I adjust in my workday so that the work is more rewarding, that the work is more fun? At the end, when I sit my head on the pillow, I feel really, really good about myself. What adjustments could you make? What things could you let go of right now in your task list that are not giving you any joy? That are not really you? How could you put yourself out there in a more authentic way? Because there's nothing more exhausting and there's nothing more miserable than trying to be something you're not, thinking that the true version of you, your real self, is not enough. So you need to put on this mask, you need to put on this character. And by the way, I did this for 10 years. And God, it was exhausting. Even back when I was teaching martial arts, I was so insecure. I was making videos, putting stuff out there, but the fear was so strong to put my real self out there and not care what people think. It was so exhausting. And of course, I was aiming for the reward, right? And it was very difficult to do the work, especially when things didn't happen the way that I wanted them to. So decision number one, make the work the reward. Decision number two, decide about who you truly are. And by the way, overcoming the fear, having clarity about the fear, that is the shaman mindset. Because once you have clarity about the fear, you can heal it. So the shaman mindset is all about healing fears, healing insecurities. Now we dive into the warrior mindset with the second decision. First decision somewhere in between the two. So the second decision is deciding about who you truly are. And this is the conversation that I had with my client. She had a habit of looking at everything in her past as proof of her weakness instead of proof of her strength. Ask yourself, where are you doing that? For example, when I would be very eager to close a client, but instead of closing the client, I would botch the sales call. I would be so hard on myself, right? You're never going to figure this out. You're never going to do this. This is just not going to work for you. You're not cut out for this. Sound familiar? When the reality was, that experience was helping me become better at selling my coaching. And I had 6 years of proof that I was good at sales. I mean, I sold my services as a martial arts mentor for 6 years. I knew how to sell. People trusted me, right? But because I hadn't decided about who I truly was, I wasn't looking at myself clearly. I wasn't looking at the events of my past as proof of who I truly am, of my power, of my confidence, of what I'm truly capable of. And instead was choosing to see everything that happened as weakness, right? Nothing has meaning in this life. We give it meaning. There's this Buddhist saying about, if I give this to you, this is a writing tool. If I give the same pen to a dog and they play with it, it's a toy. Who's right? Me or the dog? It has no inherent meaning. We give it the meaning. So what I'm saying is, when you decide to look at everything that's happening, everything that ever happened to you, as something that happened for you as proof of your power, when you start looking at all of those events as, yes, I am a badass, then guess what? What's happening right now, what will happen in the future is going to be the same thing. It's going to be proof of your badassery, no longer of your shortcomings, no longer of your weakness. You botch a sale, something doesn't go right, the definition you give it, yeah, whatever. I know I'm going to get the right clients. I know I will figure this out because I figured out so many different things. I've done so many things that felt impossible in my life up until this point. Of course, I'm going to figure this thing out too. And you move forward with purpose, with confidence, and you keep doing the work that you love so much. And nothing can stop you to growing your income consistently, which brings us to our next point. The fluctuation you see in your income is the fluctuation you have in your state. It's just that the result, the physical outcome of your state, your energy fluctuating, your confidence fluctuating, is delayed by 4 to 6 weeks. You don't see it instantly, but the roller coaster, the emotional roller coaster that you're feeling right now, today, or maybe you felt this week, you will see it in 4 to 6 weeks in terms of your income. But if you understand what the fears are, if you decide who you're going to be or who you are, if you decide that, yes, I'm a badass and everything in my past shows that I'm a badass, really, because I choose to see it that way and I can choose to see it that way, right? And number 3, you fall in love with the work and the work becomes a reward. There's nothing that can stop you. Now, that being said, there are a few more elements that we need to discuss because watching this, trying to apply this is very powerful. You will have an experience of progress. You will see a few things changing, but this energy needs to be maintained over time. And there are a few key tools that you need to maintain this level of energy over time. And I would love to share them with you, but I am not a fan of cookie cutter solutions. what you hear in a YouTube video might work exceptionally well for someone, and it might not work at all for you. I know I've had this experience. So the best way, the fastest way to make real progress is to get a personalized experience, a personalized plan, a personalized solution that fits well for you. There's a reason why people go to make tailored suits and why they fit so well, because it was made for them. On the other hand, if you're trying to get your suit, your perfect solution on YouTube, you know that it doesn't really fit. It's either too large here, you don't feel that good in it, and yeah, it's clothes, but it doesn't really bring out the best in you. So in that sense, my invitation to you right now is to not watch the next YouTube video and instead give yourself a powerful gift, a powerful experience. There's a link in the description below. And I know, before you click off, relax. This is not going to be a sales call. I remember when I signed up for my first ever business coaching program, right? They said, oh, it's going to be a consultation call. Let's create a plan together. It's going to be so useful for you. And then when I got on the call, what are your goals? What do you think is stopping you? Give me some money. This program will help. Classic sign-up sales call, right? And you're probably using the same system. But that's not how I do things. So here's what's going to happen. When you tap the link, you will see a presentation. If it sounds fun, sounds good, you can book a time. But here's the thing. In our first call together, we will actually have 2 calls. In our first call together, we will dive deep. I will give you an experience. You will not be able to tell between that experience and the experience that I give my high-paying one-on-one coaching clients. You cannot tell the difference. It's going to be the same high-level experience. We're going to use the Warrior Shaman Mindset, specifically the Shaman Mindset, to identify limiting beliefs, specifically the exact specific limiting beliefs that are stopping you right now. I don't care about anybody else, right? We're just going to make this about you. And we're going to use the warrior mindset, excuse me, to draw out your real power, your true confidence, the truth about you that can make any strategy work. And at the end, I will create a personalized, or actually we together will create a personalized 7-day challenge for you that's going to help you massively with letting go of the limiting beliefs and also with making consistent progress towards your goal of making 5-figure months, making that your new standard, right? At the end of our one-on-one conversation, our first one, we'll also schedule a follow-up call 7 days later. And in the second call, we will take a look at how the challenge went. And by the way, in the 7 days, you will have direct support from me. So if you have any questions, if you see any doubts coming up, feel free to message me. I will be available for you. In our second call, we will see how the challenge went, right? What went well, what you felt was really, really, really good for you, and we will see how we can amplify more of that. We will also take a look at your workday. We will see how we can simplify it, how we can make it more fun so that you truly fall in love with the work and it becomes the reward, right? And you will never work for the result because you're so excited to get up in the morning and just do the work, right? And if together we feel like we are a good fit, we're going to have a conversation about potentially working together long term. However, if I feel like this is not the right thing for you, I will not make an offer to work together. So you will have the experience of understanding exactly what's holding you back. You will tap into a new level of confidence that allows any strategy, like the strategy that you pay thousands of dollars for already for, from your business coaching programs, they will start working for you because of that new level of confidence, that new level of power. And you will know exactly what's working really, really well for you right now in your business and how to do more of what's working without the overwhelm, without the stress. I know you didn't sign up for the stress and the overwhelm, right? None of us did. We had no idea how hard business would be. Otherwise, we wouldn't have started in the first place. But there is a way to do more with a lot less. If this sounds fun, tap the link in the description and I will see you soon. And let me know in the comments, what was the biggest insight that you got from this conversation that we've had? And I'll see you soon.